Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. This is Brunch Boxing. I'm your host, Matt. Yeah, Huey, you're gonna have to.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's back.
it's
It's
not
back.
working today, Huey. You're really gonna have to be behind the scenes today, Huey. But I'm here with the host of Brunch Boxing, the master of the walk and talk, the master of the sit and spit, Mr. Ezra Boxing himself. What's going on, Ezra?
How's it going? Let's do it. I'm excited. Last time I was on location, I was thinking about doing it today. I was like, maybe I'll just drive somewhere random, just do the show from there. But you know what? No, it feels good to be back right here where I should belong in this garage.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to talk to you about something. One of your guys who you say that you're his doppelganger for, he's in the news right now,
Yeah, yeah,
Ezra.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you still want to talk about this guy?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I seen what was put. I don't know. I don't. That's like I said. I think. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I didn't expect it. I got to expect. Gotta tell you, didn't expect this line of questioning. I feel like I'm being reported for what he got reported for. I didn't expect this kind of Barbara Streisand gotcha moment. I mean, not Barbara Streisand. What's her name? What's the lady that interviews?
Barbara Streisand.
Was Barbara Walters? Gotcha moment. I didn't expect this Barbara Walters gotcha moment.
Hey man, hey. So we won't say his name on here.
Maybe that's why I grew the beard out. So there's the resemblance isn't 100% there as it once was.
No means no. Also, oh shit, and also behind the scenes. We have the master marionette, the super producer himself, our guy Huey P. What's going on, Huey?
Not too much, not too much. I guess I'm having some technical issues, so hopefully the sound issues aren't coming through too terribly right now for you guys. I don't hear them, but let's get into the show. We want to get a quick show today, Matt. You want to get to the NBA playoffs, so let's get through with the news this week.
Hey, what I want to get to is Brunch Boxing had an extensive day in the gym with Junto Nakatani as he prepares for his fight with Naoya Inoue. Ezra and Mike was on location. You guys got to see Junto warm up. You got to see Junto work out, do some sparring, and then you got to also do an extensive interview with him. Part one is up right now. Hopefully, part two will be posted sometime today, and we'll get into that. Ezra, what were your thoughts on Junto Nakatani now that you got to see him up close?
It's funny because this fight is like it's a humongous fight, right? And especially like in Japan, and it's just gonna do like insane amount of money, and it's gonna be a massive event. And the funny thing about boxing is like the training isn't as glamorous as the event is. Like not even close, right? It's like not even as close as glamorous. And as I went in there and I wanted to see, a guy getting prepared for the biggest fight of his life, one of the biggest fight in Japan's history, in my opinion, in boxing. Um, I saw a guy that was pretty relaxed, pretty comfortable with everything going on. Did not look panicked. Did not look like the stress was getting to him. Just looked comfortable in the moment. Looked like a true professional, and wasn't like some big entourage. Wasn't. It's just like everybody was just in there like casually. Like it was very, very friendly environment, casual environment, and was a guy that to me it just showed that he's not. The moment does definitely not feel too big for him at all. It doesn't feel too big for him. It doesn't feel like there's any questioning of himself. I did see sparring. I'm not going to comment on what I saw in sparring, but it's just a guy that, like I said, you would if you went in there and you didn't know, you would not expect that this guy's going into this big of a mega of a fight.
You're not going to comment on what you saw. We want to know what you saw.
I'm not going to comment on sparring. I mean, they let me see sparring.
You don't got to say who won.
No. I know that.
How did he look? How did he look?
He was sharp. He was sharp.
The hell?
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not going to comment on it.
Let me tell you one thing about this tricky about sparring, especially when you're in a camp like this. And I've seen many camps, people getting ready for fights, especially big fights. There's like there's spots where you're cranking up the intensity of the sparring, and there's spots where you're kind of just getting your rounds in. You're kind of just getting your conditioning in. You might be working on one specific thing, or you know what I mean. So it's hard to say what level it was cranked up. I think that the sparring was a little bit more. I would say it wasn't 100% him trying to take an opponent out. I don't think it was that. I think it was more them working on things and stuff like.
Okay. Okay, but you could say that. You don't have to. I
No,
didn't
no, no, I
ask
know,
you.
no, I get
Yeah.
you, on that. I just don't want to, listen. If a fighter's gonna let in, I hope it happens again. The fighters let us in and watch sparring like that. I don't want to disrespect it. You know what I mean? It's like I said, these guys. It's a lot of trust to let someone watch your sparring. It's a lot of, you know what I mean. And I don't want to, go past any line there.
All right. Well, give us something. Did he get knocked down during sparring?
No, of course not.
Did he knock anybody down during sparring?
No.
All right. All right. Did he throw up? Whoa.
No. You know, I looked in very good shape. Looked in very, very, very good
Now,
shape.
let me ask you a question. After what? Because you made it clear you're going with anyway in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fight closer or wider after seeing Junto up close?
I don't like I said, the sparring to me didn't give me anything to as far as like change. Like, oh, I wasn't seeing this. I was seeing Junto doing what Junto does. Um, I, well, my perspective on it is I still think that this guy is the most dangerous guy that Inoue's been in the ring with. I still believe that.
I'm
And
gonna
and
ask
uh,
you.
and and um and after watching him and talking to him and a thing, I think that this is something that he truly believes as well.
It's not what I asked you.
I know. No, but the fight's about what I thought it was going into the before I went to the gym.
What type fight is it?
I think it's a 70-30.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
And if I've been thinking about this fight a lot, and I think Junto's like a really, really, really damn good fighter, like a damn good fighter. But I think Inoue is just like an all timer, right? And fights that, and I think someone said this before, so I don't want to say like, oh, this is my original idea. It's definitely someone might have said this before. There's fights like Corrales Floyd, right, where Corrales is like damn good at that time, right? And like when you go into that, you're like, damn, there's people picking Corrales in that fight, and then you just see what like an all timer looks next to an extremely good fighter. And they're just matchups like that. Like maybe even I'm trying to other example, maybe Crawford Spence, maybe Pacquiao Cotto. Just performances like that where you're just like there's just a separation and gap. And I would not be stunned if that's just what this is. I don't think it has anything to do with how good Junto is. I think it just has everything to do with how good Inoue is. But like I said, the Junto to me, the point is like, is that power? How much of a differential is that power going to be to Inoue? If he lands on Inoue, is it more devastating than when Cardenas lands on Inoue? Is it the way he places the shot? Is the way he can follow up with the offense? Is that going to change? Because I do believe as one in and as I left, I still believe the power has to make a difference in this fight. It has to change the momentum of this fight, and we're going to see if that power lands. If it's just a game changer in the fight.
Okay. Now you got to sit down with Junto. You talked to him extensively. And obviously the video is available on the Brunch Boxing YouTube. If you haven't subscribed by now, make sure you go subscribe to the Brunch Boxing YouTube and go watch the video. Part 2 will be dropping today. What did you glean from that interview with Junto Nakatani?
Just comfortable. Just never like I said, obviously there's like a language barrier, obviously, right? But he did want to make sure that he understood the question 100%. And with his answers, I thought were all they were all great answers, in my opinion. I think that this is a guy that truly believes he belongs there. This is not a guy questioning. There's no questioning here, and I think that sometimes we don't think about that. Like, does this guy truly believe he belongs in the ring with this guy? I think he truly believes it. The one thing he did say, he says like, I didn't call out Inoue. Inoue called me out, and then the fight was a big fight, and I said let's make the fight. It's right. It made them right. It was the right time to do it, and there was a lot of excitement about it. but like I said, he doesn't. I don't think he felt like he was chasing in a way. I think he feels like he's a great fighter. In a way, he's a great fighter, and they get in the ring, something great's going to happen. But I don't feel any. I don't question him at all. I don't feel any doubt in him at all.
It almost, in my view in an interview, kind of felt like, yeah, it's a big fight, but for him, this is just another fight.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's just another guy that he's looking to put on his resume as he continues his boxing career.
Yeah, I think he feels too that like he's gonna be a massive star than more than he is right now. Right, he's gonna be a massive star after this fight. And if you heard of it, he said like at one point he said like I have the look, I got the thing, like I got this things all that could come together after this win. Right, it's all gonna come together, and I'm gonna be in a way different spot after this win. I think that's what he's looking at. Like he's just excited to be like, what's it gonna be after I beat in a way? What's it all gonna be like?
Is there anything that he said in your interview with him that kind of surprised you?
Um, No, I don't think anything surprised me. I mean, I didn't know that he had lived in Southern California this long. I didn't know that. They were telling me actually when I was in the gym. They're like, he's lived in South Central. Like he moved here and he lived in South Central, and he's lived there for years. I didn't know. I didn't know that. Like I honestly, but honestly, Junto's like an LA fighter. That's really what it is. Like this would to me. The way he treats, because he said like LA is like home to him. If he won, this would be to me. I would consider this a big win for LA boxing. I really would. He trains right there in Little Tokyo. Like I've lived here for. I did not know where that gym was. I did not know existed right there. But it's right in the middle of Little Tokyo. It's just like I didn't know how LA he was and how much he loves LA. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't know that he's basically from LA, been in LA since he was
Mm-hmm.
15.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts? Because I was actually pretty curious his training regimen, 3 months on, and then move camp to Japan. What were your thoughts on the way he trains with Rudy Hernandez, like the whole setup?
It's interesting. Like I said, maybe that's pretty smart because sometimes you get stagnant, or if you hear the same voice over and over again, it might probably become tiresome, right? So if you go and you switch and you go to over here, a different camp, and you train with these guys, and then just a new voice, new energy could get that energy cranked up, and then once that gets a little stagnant, you move back here, you get that energy. So I think that's a good idea, honestly. I think that's not a bad. I think that's not a bad idea. The one thing is like you want to it kind of all kind of blends together, and no matter what, any person eventually is kind of going to get like the routine's just going to get boring, or you're just going to lose focus a little bit. Switching locations once in a while just it brings a new focus to it. It brings a new thing. I remember there were guys do that wild card as well. Like if guys train wild card, and then they would be like, hey, what, for this camp we're just going to train at this gym, we get some sparring at this gym, just to switch it up, just to get the energy up, just to give yourself something new. And I think when you get something new, and maybe there's a new environment, it's just like a new focus. I think that comes from that.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty interesting. Now, was there anything where you were like, you thought, hey, I wonder if this guy's ready for the moment, really?
No, I believe 100%. Like the 100%, I believe that he knows what he's doing in the ring. He's comfortable 100% with what he does, what he's good at, and he's 100% locked in mentally. Like I don't think there's going to be a thing where it's like, oh, we're going to get there and you can see his eyes are going to be too big for the moment, or you're going to. I just don't see that with him. I do not feel that. I feel like this is a guy that, like, you got to remember, he has 34 fights too. He has 34 fights just like anyway. This is a guy that's been around. He's experienced. He's been in there with tough guys. I just think that he truly believes in himself. I
Yeah.
think you're going to get the best Junto.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Like I said, it was a great interview.
Appreciate it.
You guys did a good job. You got a lot of footage out there. Shout out to our Japanese fans who have really been supporting us, man. Shout out to the Japanese fans. They're loving the content we're giving them, and we're loving the support. So
I want to say, credit to Mike. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to tell you right now, this interview does not happen without Mike. So not me. I just showed up. Mike gave me a time. He said, show up. I showed up. Mike, let me tell you something. First of all, they love Mike. They love Mike. This guy's manager, Junto's manager loves Mike. He loves him. He thinks he's the best guy in the world, and Mike is. That's a good point, right? But Mike made all this happen. He goes in there. When we go in there, we're like, oh, well, we're here to talk to Junto. We got to interview with him. And to me, I'm like, man, I'm just let Mike lead this. You know what I mean? We go and like I said, Mike just makes things happen. So I think credit to him. Yeah, I don't know. People just let down their guard with Mike for some reason. Still got you, Matt? What happened here? All right. Well, I don't know. Can you
got a phone call?
Oh yeah, I don't know what happened. It's all right. We can continue the show. It was just great though. I just say that though. It was a great experience. I'm excited for this fight. It made me more excited for the fight. And the one thing is, like I said, just like the how big and mega this fight's going to be, and like how glamorous it's going to be compared to the training for it. It's always funny to me in boxing. That's always funny to me. Like when Pacquiao trained a wild card, and you just think like wild card is I love that gym. I trained that gym for years. It's kind of ugly, right? It's kind of rough. It's not beautiful in any way. It's not glamorous in any way. But that's what it takes. Like that's what it takes to get to that spot, right? Like it takes training in that. It takes that mentality. Now I will say that Rudy Hernandez's gym is pretty nice. It's pretty clean, very organized. But these dudes are really going at it. They're even going at it in a. They don't have a second ring. So when there's another sparring going, they just put 4 dots and they just say don't cross the 4 dots. And dudes are just throwing. I mean, then they were seeing these kids and they were throwing, seeing grown men and they're throwing. Like I said, it was no jokes in there. It was down to business. We're getting down to business.
All right. So you said you thought this was a 70-30 fight. That's kind of where I'm at with it too. Did your visit to the gym change that at all? Did that go up after you saw?
No.
Did it maintain where you were at?
It maintained where I was at because the things, like I said, the things that Inoue does, and the things the way that he could fight, and like I said, and to the style, maybe I think even like the style that Junto wants to win the fight in Inoue could beat him in that style, right? It's not like if Junto gets to fight here, then Inoue will be at a huge disadvantage. Like no, even in that, it's going to be a really tough fight for Junto, right? But there's ways that Inoue could take the fight where I think Junto will have a horrible time. Like I just don't know. I think he'll struggle. So that's the thing. It's like, how could he get Inoue into exchanges? Can he capitalize on those exchanges? And when he lands, how does that change the fight? People always say, when a guy that maybe like his power needs to have an effect, they think, oh, he has only can win by knockout. But that's not the case. If you could hurt a guy really bad and that throws him off the rest of the fight, you could win a decision. You could change the whole damn fight from that point. You could make him less aggressive. You could make him doubt himself, or you could put your punches can matter so much that every time he gets touched, he gets hurt, he'll lose that round. Do you know what I'm saying? So like you could win a decision. That's to me, I always thought that's a dumb comment. Like this guy can't win a decision. Well, if you could hurt someone, you can win a decision. And that's the whole thing. Is like, is Junto's power, and because of the way he places his shot and his offense is so clean, will that just completely change this fight? When he lands clean, is the fight just different from that point? That's what I need to see. Now, I can't see that from sparring. These are things that you can't see from training. You know what I mean? You're only going to see when they make contact with each other.
Yeah. So you just mentioned, him exchanging with Inoue, whether or not those punches are gonna have impact. And I think we saw that kind of in the Ryan Haney fight with what you're saying. Like Ryan didn't knock him out. A lot of people thought he was gonna have to knock him out to win. Granted, that fight went the way it did. We saw the no contest and everything that happened afterward. But Ryan that night ultimately did get the decision announced in the ring. And so that's a very similar situation to what you're saying here. We've seen Inoue get hurt by guys like Neri and others in those exchanges. Do you think that Nakatani's power stacks up to those? And do you think he has the possibility to actually hurt Inoue to the point where it impacts the fight, like we saw with Ryan and Haney?
Yeah, I definitely think he has the power to impact the fight, right? The question, a big question going in is how much was that Inoue's like kind of arrogance on why he got caught by Neri and Cardenas, because he kind of didn't respect what was coming back, right? And that's a big question, right? So like, can Inoue just shut that down like he did in the MJ fight, like he did in the Fulton fight? Can he just shut down their offense coming at him when he's really locked in? That's what we're gonna find out. I've always said that Inoue what we were seeing was Inoue, the Pretty Boy Floyd was what we're seeing, right? Like offense, getting guys out of there, being aggressive, and using his physical abilities to just like be superior to guys. But as he gets older and as he gets up in weight, I thought we needed to see more of the Money Mayweather, right? Inoue style. I'm curious if that's what we see in this fight. Is it more of a boxing performance where he's not even going to give Junto the chance, or is Inoue just that mentality where I don't know, some guys just can't get away from it, and he says, "No, I'm gonna get this guy out of here. Like I'm superior to this guy," and he just has that mentality. Then we'll see if things get
I
interesting.
think what we're gonna see is something similar to what we saw in the Fulton fight and the MJ fight. When you have someone that people keep talking about, oh, this guy could be the one to beat anyway. It seems like Inoue is completely turned on, where he's like completely alert. He tries to not give you anything, you know.
Uh, and,
And
and I
he
agree with
takes
that.
less chances, to be honest. He takes less
Yeah,
chances.
definitely, right? But the one thing I would say is that Junto just doesn't fight like those guys, and he's not Junto like is gonna to me, right? Those guys are looking to kind of outpoint you, right? They're looking to box, and Junto is a little bit more aggressive than that.
Oh,
So I
oh,
think
see, I don't know. I don't know. Because listening to your interview, he it kind of felt like he was almost offended that people think he can't get a decision against Inoue.
yeah, that's why. I mean,
Where,
that is why I asked him that. I did ask him that
yeah,
for that.
and I always we saw this with Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler way back in the day, where Hagler didn't fight his normal style. He wanted to box with Sugar Ray just to prove he could box, and this wasn't just a size thing. Oh, I'm a better boxer than him. Could we see Nakatani maybe make that mistake and not fight his style just to try to prove something that end up costing him on the scorecards?
Listen, he's not going to beat in a way when it comes to foot speed. Not even close. Not even. It's not. It's not a photo finish. Not nothing. It's wide by miles. But he's going
Yeah,
to have to. When Inoue is at distance, he's going to have to lead. You know what I mean? He's going to have to lead, and he's going to have to get Inoue into exchanges. Now he does have the ability to step back and do work. He does have boxing ability, and maybe once he starts, maybe he lands on Inoue, or maybe he could get Inoue. He could get Inoue to exchange for too far away. And he could take a step back and take advantage of that. I do think his boxing ability that he could take advantage of this fight. But if it's like we're standing and staring at each other, it's not gonna be a good night for him. Inoue's too
yeah.
fast. Inoue's just too
Well,
fast to stop and stare at him.
not to be outdone, Inoue versus Nakatani is not the only fight that's taking place on May 2nd
Okay.
in the next couple weeks. We also have the excellent PBC Golden Boy collaboration event on Amazon Prime. David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, will move up to the cruiserweight division to challenge what I think is the number one cruiserweight in the world, unified WBA, WBO cruiserweight champion Zerto Ramirez. David Benavidez sat down with Mason Cam and Mace on It Is What It Is after Cameron uh, got his wits about him after he got beat up
Was
by
it the
Jay
same
Uso.
day?
Yeah. It was right after. It was right after. It was the next segment. It
Was
was
it a
the next
dress?
segment.
Was it a dress?
It was the next segment. Yeah, it was. David Benavidez is like, oh, I never been on an interview where the host got beat up right before I came on. And I'm sure they'll be dropping more clips from the interview in the coming 2 weeks because we're 2 weeks away from the fight. But I thought David Benavidez said some very, very interesting things in this interview that I'm probably going to end up writing about. It was that interesting. But one of the things he said, and maybe you could speak to this because you have sparred Zerto Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen Zerto and David sparring.
Mm-hmm.
He says he's gonna put a beating on Zerto.
Wow. I mean, when the sparring that I've seen, and I'll talk about this sparring because this is for way further back. That was competitive sparring. Like there was not, it didn't to me did not lean one way. Um, but the one thing too is like Zero was a smaller back then than he is now, right? I don't know if David is necessarily. He's definitely, he's at this point he's got more of his man strength now. But I don't know if he's a bigger human being because at that you got to remember David at that point was working his way down in weight. getting in better shape, working his way down in weight, and Zerto was going kind of the other way. So Zerto's a bigger man now.
Yeah, but I think but I think there's a difference between being fat and and that's my weight class, you know.
Bro, he's built like a door. I mean, I don't know. I don't see
No, no,
like
I'm talking about
I don't think he's
Benavidez. I'm
fat.
talking about Benavidez because you saying
Oh,
Benavidez
yeah,
working his
yeah,
way
yeah.
down.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying. Yeah,
he was fat. It wasn't functional weight.
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. But I'm just saying that like Zerto's big. So okay, could he outwork Zerto? 100%. He can outwork Zerto. But are those shots gonna be shots that uh change what Zerto's doing or like add up to where like he's out of it? I don't see that. I just don't see that in this fight. I see a fight that where Benavidez is gonna work and maybe outwork him to a decision. I can see I see that. But I don't see a fight where like Zerto's like on the ropes, he's barely hanging on. I don't see that. I don't see that kind of fight. I think he's gonna land his offense. I think Benavidez is gonna land his offense, and Zerto's just not gonna be able to keep up with the pace of the fight. That's why.
About what year was this sparring that you saw?
Dude, I'm not gonna remember that. I don't know which. I don't know.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I
How
don't know.
you get CTE from one fight?
I don't know. I don't know. It was CTE from a lot of sparring, I believe.
Ezra, can you? What years were you training at the gym?
These are great questions.
Are these questions
2000,
you know?
2011 to 2019.
Oh come on, that's too
So
big of a range.
we're talking about pre-pandemic sparring.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, pre-pandemic. Yeah, I was done.
No. I'm putting
Yeah,
it in perspective for the
yeah,
listeners.
yeah. Pre-pandemic.
Because
I will say this. Listen, I've never been in the ring with Benavidez. I've never been in the ring, so I can't say it with him.
yeah,
Zerto,
but here's what people need to remember and understand. Zerto is about 5 years older than David Benavidez, maybe
yes.
6 years, 5 or 6 years older. So whenever they sparred, that was a very, very young version of David Benavidez
That's
and
fair.
a more
Yes.
seasoned version of Zerto. So to me, for the sparring to be that competitive at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and we know David has gotten worlds and worlds better since then.
Right.
I think that makes me kind of lean towards this might end up being the beatdown that Benavidez thinks it's going to be.
I think Zerto has gotten better though too from that point. I think Zerto has definitely gotten better.
Doing the math on that, at most, let's say it was the last year you were there, David was 23. And it probably wasn't the last year.
Wasn't last year I was there, no.
So, like, I mean, David might have been a teenager when you were watching that sparring.
I think maybe closer to like 21.
Insane.
But yeah, you understand, like Benavidez is insane. Like his sparring stuff's insane because he would go in there with heavyweights. I mean, I've seen him spar Latif Coyote, right? Like this dude was spar Golovkin, Latif Coyote. Anyone that got in the ring, basically Zerto was willing to spar him. Like that was like basically what he was known for. Like he just go in there and it wasn't any size of a human being that he wouldn't get in the ring with. Wasn't any level of fighter that he wouldn't get in the ring with. This dude has been sparring Kelly Pavlik and Golovkin since he was a teenager. Like this is a guy that has all this experience and everything. So I that. But I will say though, for being in the ring with Zerto is really strong. And another thing too is he can fight both styles. He can box, he can move back and box, and he can fight and come forward too. Like Zerto has the ability to come forward and fight. And he's like I said, you might not one punch power, but he's very, very, very strong. His punches are very strong. You really feel them, and I'm not just saying about it because I felt them, but I've seen other fighters, higher level fighters, that were really respected what Zerto was throwing.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, because you mentioned his come forward style.
Yes.
Does that style still exist with Malik Scott in his corner?
I don't know. I don't know. But I've seen Zerto come forward and he's skilled at it. He's skilled at it. He's good at it. He can come forward. He can come forward and be effective.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I actually like Zerto on the back foot better than the come forward Zerto. I think I've enjoyed Zerto's performances better with Malik Scott than at any other point in his career. Like him with Malik Scott makes me feel like he's one of the best boxers in the world. Him before, to me, he was just a guy that was like plotting and hoping to beat you with his sheer size. Like I honestly, I would love to see a rematch between Zerto and Dmitry Bivol at this point with his new style. But that's neither here nor there. Some other things that came out of this interview with David Benavidez and Cameron Mace, which you could probably see on the It Is What It Is podcast feed. They did ask him about Canelo again, because people still want to know about Canelo, and he wants to know why. They want to know why Canelo ain't fight him, and he didn't mince his words. He said Canelo has no balls. He said Canelo has no balls, but he is still will. Would you stop moving the goddamn camera? He's still willing to give. It's fucking distracting me.
Sorry.
He's still willing to give Canelo a chance to fight him. He thinks it's still a very viable fight, even with the beatdown that Terrence Crawford gave Canelo. How viable of a fight is Canelo Benavidez in 2026, 2027?
Well, it's not going to happen. I mean, are you asking me if it's? What are you asking me? Are you asking me is it possible to happen, or are you asking me if it's like a still big fight?
Both.
It's still a big fight. Yeah, it's a massive fight, but it's not going to happen. It's like nowhere. 0% chance it happens. There's no shot in hell it happens. I'll put it that way. There's no shot in hell it happens. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's a big, massive fight. Probably one of the biggest, probably the biggest fight in boxing.
It's a big fight right now. Canelo has to come back and do something for it to be a massive fight.
You think so, huh? Right.
I do. I don't think, because his allure isn't the same, because he got beat by a welterweight. An older welterweight at that.
It's fair. One of the thing is that you said, what you're saying about Canelo. I do think that it's pretty telling. I think we always talk about this, Matt, right? You never know who a guy is until he has the power to make stuff happen, and then you find out what he's really about. But I also think that you don't really know who a guy is until when he sees someone that he believes it could beat him. I think that really, it's easy to get in with guys and you say, I'm the best fighter in the world. You know what I mean? Like, you're the best fighter in the world. Who are you really afraid to get in the ring with? No one, right? But when you feel like, hey, this guy could possibly beat me, I think that really kind of shows me, well, who are you? That's what I know how tough you really are. That's what I'm saying. Some guys have been the best fighter in the world their whole life. They've never been in a situation where they felt they're going to lose, right? And that they don't have to question themselves. They can just get in the ring. But sometimes when you have to question yourself, that's when I find out. Listen, Roy Jones, when he was past it, was still willing to get in with basically anybody. You know what I mean? Like, Roy Jones was always physically better than everyone. So you never knew that, right? You never really truly knew that about him until when he was past it and it was like, hey, you're probably going to get knocked out. He was still willing to get in the ring. That's how the tough his mentality was. I don't think so. Everyone's like that.
Everyone's not like that. And it kind of feels like Canelo's not like that.
It kind of feels like that.
It kind of feel like Alexander Usyk is not like that.
Exactly.
You kind of, and I hate to bring up the boxing media, but I do blame the boxing media. The boxing media, they're giving these guys passes, saying, "Oh, they've done enough; they don't need to do anything anymore." And I think they're only saying that based upon who's cutting their checks. Canelo and Usyk is with Turkey, so maybe they know Turkey got something else planned for them. So hey, they don't need to do anything else. Don't bother them. Let them do whatever the hell Turkey wants them to do right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really happening right now.
And that perspective is just so horrible for the sport. Like, it's so terrible for
It's
the sport.
stupid.
Yeah, it's what it's one of the things where I would say, like, where we're at trouble right now with the sport is stuff like that, where these guys get the spot where they just are not forced to fight anyone anymore, don't have to fight the challengers. It's like, hey, basically our stars now only last for like 2 fights. You can become a superstar and you only last for like 2 fights because everything else after that is just kind of BS. You're not fighting the real guys. So then,
but juxtapose that with David Benavidez.
Mm-hmm.
He fought Andrade, Plant, Morrell, Fosdick.
Yeah, Morrell's the big name out of that, I think.
Morrell's but I say that to say he didn't really have to take all these fights because his star was already building.
And he's been chasing that Morrell
big boy them. Well, you let Morrell tell it. Morrell was the one chasing him, and David Benavidez. And the thing you have to love about David Benavidez as a boxing fan is that it didn't sit well with his soul that there were people out there that thought that he might be ducking somebody. So he said, you know what? I'll fight this motherfucker.
Yep.
I don't care.
And him and Inoue have that in common.
Yes.
Him and
Yes.
Inoue have that in common. Inoue's not going to let you say, hey, this guy could beat you in the same weight. He won't do it. He'll be like, all right, we're going to find out then.
Yeah.
Inoue ain't do that. Like I'm saying, you got to respect those guys. That's why, like, you got to appreciate guys that go on these runs and continue fighting legit
Putting in
fighters.
the work.
Yeah, because that work it's important. Like, here's the one thing maybe I would never kind of really thought about until we started really dissecting Usyk's career. It's like, okay, he has the names, right? He beat the guys at that time. Okay, but then it was like, okay, but he beat all the styles. Did he face all the styles? And it was like, no, he didn't. And you gotta appreciate a guy that says, hey, I'll go through every style. Whatever style you got, just figure it out. Because boxing is a rock, paper, scissors sport, so at times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is a style that could be like, hey, that style's trouble. The one thing about Floyd, hey, Floyd has trouble with the style, he goes back and rematches that style. He says, okay, if you guys said that style gave me trouble, let's go back and do it again then. I'll give you guys another shot at it. You got to do that.
Like for me, I feel like no matter what David Benavidez accomplishments commercially, monetarily, I still feel like if you say his name, he will appear.
Yes, Joe Hendry.
Like don't ever get him fucked up, basically. You know, and he was talking about how this bout with Zerto got done. He said Oscar De La Hoya called him. He said Oscar De La Hoya called him and said, hey, there might be an opportunity for you to fight Zerto. And he said, hey, let's make this shit happen. And they made it happen lickety split just like that. And you have to respect it. Like I keep telling people, 2026 is the year that we respect work. You gotta respect work. Anybody that's putting the work in, that's gonna be the people who you're gonna be seeing popping up on my pound for pound. That's gonna be people that you see me talking about and respecting. I respect work. If you're not putting in work, I don't want to hear from you. So that I thought that also was very interesting. Another thing that he did address, um, Shakur Stevenson suggested that David Benavidez should go up to heavyweight to fight Usyk. You know, I guess he was doing it all tongue in cheek. And David Benavidez seems kind of receptive to that.
So what did I say? What did I say? What did I say?
Hey man, you mentioned how the fight got made. Oscar called him. Oscar was a guy like that when he was fighting that would just say yes.
Yeah, but what did I say? I said after Zerto, I'm telling you, heavyweight. I'm telling you, it's all the things are aligning because no one on the weights he's passing up are not gonna come back and be like, hey, I'll fight you. They're not gonna happen. Like Bivol's not gonna happen. Okay, Bivol's not gonna happen. I think honestly, Bivol is closer to retirement than he is to fighting Benavidez. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. I think that Bivol's lining up a few paydays to get on out of here. And we know Benjamin is right there, right? He's got probably one more fight in him, right? And is the rematch from Morrell? What is that going to do? I think the heavyweight is a real possibility. I think heavyweight's a real possibility. And you know, if you look at the way Joshua looked against Jake Paul, it made me way more of a real believer of that. It made me way more of a real believer in how that and hey, he could go there and he don't have to fight right away the top guys, but there's names in there that he could fight that people would be interested in. And you want to, this is a guy that wants to be the best fighter in the world, but also wants the star power. Like he's open about, I want to be a massive star. Hell, go to heavyweight, my friend. Go to heavyweight. We could boost this. We can boost this up.
Yeah, I found it very interesting that he seems receptive to that fight because, I mean, let's be honest, that should be a ways away from him, you know. But you know, it is what it is. He did also address Bivol Baturbiev. He still wants those fights,
Yeah, of course.
and something he said that was interesting that I think it's a bad idea, but he doesn't. He's willing to go back down to 175 to make those fights happen.
Can I throw a fight out right now? Just let me throw 3 fights out right now. Let me throw 3 fights out right now. And they're gonna get better as they go along. Benavidez versus Andy Ruiz. You guys don't like that fight?
It's
No,
interesting. It's interesting, but I'm not
no.
like it's interesting because you're seeing Benavidez at heavyweight. It's not interesting because of the matchup.
Bro.
If I see Benavidez at heavyweight, I want to see it against Usyk.
Okay, well, we got to build up to it. There's no point. Here's the thing, though. You can't rush that. There's no point of rushing it.
You
I
can't.
see.
Hold on. Here's the issue. You can't build up any Usyk fight at this point because you never know when he's gonna retire.
Okay, let me give you the next one. Benavidez versus Big Bang Zhang. Or do you favor Benavidez in the fight?
I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, that one's tough. See, you said that one, and I was like, I don't know who makes it to Usyk.
Okay, let me give you my third one. This one's going to be a little tricky for you, Matt. Benavidez versus Wilder.
That's the fight.
I'm interested.
That's the fucking fight.
And let me tell you right
I'm
now.
interested in that fight.
That's the fight.
The fights I'm laying out right now, right, is the perfect, like, hey, let's work our way up, right? This is the thing. But the fights I'm laying out right now are massive paydays for him. Let me tell you something. If you put Benavidez and Wilder on a poster, that fight is going to sell like crazy. Like that fight.
Benavidez and Ruiz, you put that in California, the StubHub Center.
You put that in LA, let me tell you something. People love Ruiz in LA. People love Benavidez in LA. That fight will do crazy numbers.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, if you're talking about star power, you're talking about
But here's
money.
the thing, though. Andy Ruiz needs to do something.
I don't care about Andy Ruiz at this point.
But let me tell you something. To the casual, he does not.
No,
right
you
now.
don't think he needs
I
that?
saw him.
The last time you saw Andy Ruiz was 2024.
I was in the building, and let me tell you something. The crowd was going crazy for him.
Yeah, but that's the last time you saw him. Can he get a tune-up?
Maybe. Okay, fine. Do a tune-up. But you don't need it. I'll tell you that right now. He doesn't need it. You get in that fight and you match those two guys up together, people are watching. I'll tell you right now, no one does this, whatever, no one talks about it. Put that in Dodger Stadium. I'm just telling you right now. Put that in Dodger Stadium. Let me tell you what to make that a massive. If Benavidez wants to be the face of boxing, this is your pathway to do it.
So his pathway to do it is to fight guys 40 or 50 pounds heavier than him.
Unfortunate. Life's not fair. You know what I mean? And we know that from Benavidez' career. Life is not fair. It's unfortunate, but that is the pathway.
Well, and that goes back to kind of like you were trying to, you put the blame on the boxing media, and I'm not trying to absolve them at all, but like some of the blame has to go onto the sanctioning organization with these super champions and all this stuff that eliminates the need for any of these high earning sanctioning fee guys to actually have to fight a mandatory that might beat them.
Yeah, but you could order Benavidez Canelo to the cows come home.
Yeah,
he ain't fighting them.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
I mean, the WBC ordered Benavidez versus Bivol. He was like, you know what? Let me just drop this belt.
But they should have forced Canelo to drop that belt.
Yeah, I think that's the issue that I'm ultimately having there, is that they were coddling Canelo to keep him with that belt because of
I don't think they wanted to embarrass him.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's all.
Well,
they
that's stupid.
Embarrass him.
What a dumb way to run your sanctioning body. Hey, let's not embarrass this guy.
He's made him a lot of money.
Ezra wasn't thinking about it. Ezra's embarrassing everybody.
Matt, you have any final thoughts on Benavidez Zurdo here?
I think Benavidez is gonna beat him. I think I'm convinced with the sparring thing, because if they were going, and I'm relying on Ezra. I hope this idiot knows what he was looking at back then. Hope this fucking jackass, this MMA guy, knows what he was looking at with boxing back then. I'm relying on his eye. If that was 50-50 and some good championship sparring, I think Benavidez has gotten much better than Zurdo has.
I was watching like this, Matt. I was doing the squint. I was making sure I caught everything.
Oh, this is pre-glasses. Okay.
Pre-glasses. I had perfect vision back then. You know, when I did my physical for the fight, the doctor said, he's like, I don't think I've ever seen vision this good before. I said, you damn right.
Yeah.
You caught a lot of damage in that fight, Ezra, huh?
I'm not going to say who you sound like. I'm not going to say who you sound like when you say that. All I'm going to say is, if Ezra was president, he would be the most physically fit president in the history of presidents, with the greatest physical of all time.
They said I was better shaped than Obama. That's what they told me for my physical.
What we got next?
No, so I want to continue with the interview. I'm telling you, this was an extensive interview.
I got it.
something interesting. He said, "Hey, Shakur Stevenson, you need to fight Ryan Garcia, and you need to do it at 147, not no
Ooh.
catchweight at 144." He's still laying down the gauntlet. What's your thoughts on is he right?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. Here's the thing where it's a tough thing I've been thinking about. A fighter, say he's at 140. Let's say he's at 135, whatever. He's at a weight and he's dominating that weight, right? And maybe there's not the competition we want, but that's the way he's making and he's controlling the weight. At what point do we demand or is it required for him to say, hey, I got to go find the challenge and move up in weight, right? Because he's not weight's not making him do it. He doesn't have to do it, right? But at what point is it required that he goes up and does it? And this is a tough conversation. You know, like if you look at Jermell Charlo's career, Jermell Charlo's had a great career. It's in one weight class, but the work's done in that weight class. Now, the one thing about Jermell Charlo was there wasn't really the big fight at middleweight that would force him to go to middleweight to do it. So maybe that wasn't that requirement. But I'm just curious on how we look at it, right? Can a guy just dominate a weight class? Or do we look at that as like, hey, he never went to kind of find how great he was because he never went up? That is an interesting point. I've been kind of having trouble thinking about it.
Yeah, and I think that Jamal Charlo went up and found his level. You know.
But I mean, he went up 2 weight classes, though. I don't think he found that's. I kind of hate that fight happened because he was it was like the last hate on.
Yeah, but no, but here's the thing. He went up and found his level. He realized, hey, 168 is not for me.
Okay.
Maybe you see him at 154, maybe you see him at 160, and that's fine.
But was he okay going into that Canelo fight and then leaving it? Was he a lesser fighter to you because of that fight?
Did you show me anything in that fight for me to have an opinion on whether he was lesser or better? Or the same?
No.
That's where I'm at. Huey.
Nah,
I didn't see
here's what I will say, because I think I know Matt's going to disagree. I think when he got in that ring, he realized he was a lesser fighter than Canelo was at 168.
That's fine, but that's at 168. Now listen,
no, I understand that. I think that's why we got the performance.
I just think that he felt Canelo's power. It was more than what he bargained for, and he wasn't willing to bring ass to get ass.
Well,
he wasn't willing to go out on that shield. Now, conversely, Terrence Crawford felt Canelo's power, and he said, you know what? I still could beat this guy.
Okay.
And he put on an exhibition. That's a different level of fighter.
Well, can I say this then? Okay, so here's the what then. If I'm going to go with what your train of thought, this is what I would go with then. I think what Jermell Charlo realizes Canelo had power, but he didn't have he realized that he couldn't stop Canelo from landing his power. I think Terrence Crawford felt the power, but he said for the most part, I can control what's happening in the ring with my skill and ability. And Jermell Charlo didn't have that.
It's the level of fighter. He found his level.
I think that's a fair argument. But the one thing is, I do think the weight played a big factor in it. I just didn't think less of Jermell after that fight. I did, but I'm not sure that I had Jermell beating Crawford if they fought at 154, right? At that time.
Listen, I didn't think any less of Jermell's skill per se, but I thought less of him as a man, as a fighter.
As a fighter, okay. As a fighter, okay. As a man is going a little too far. But let's bring this back.
No. I thought less of him as a man because, bro, whether or not this guy you think is gonna kick your fucking ass, bro, you gotta. Hey man, you gotta go out on your shield sometimes, brother. It is what it is.
He's a prize fighter. He was there for a prize that night, not to fight.
Get knocked out, live to fight another day.
Listen, I understand. Here's the thing. This is the way I always look at this. I understand when a guy realizes that, hey, and I've been in this situation a lot of my life, a lot of my boxing career, where you're like, if I exchange with this guy, he's probably gonna knock me out cold. Okay, if I do something stupid here, he's probably gonna knock me out cold. Okay, and I respect it when you see that. And sometimes, like in a chess match, when that happens, the game's over. In boxing, you got to go another, few more rounds to get to the decision. But it's over. It is checkmate. It happened.
Would you not have respected him more if he would have got knocked out?
what I always
Yeah.
say is I'm never gonna disrespect that. I'm just gonna say, okay, he realized it was that. But I'm not gonna lose respect, but I will gain respect. Like Emma
Okay,
Williams
so you don't
was,
take away credit; you
yes,
give extra
I
credit.
give extra credit. Emma Williams was out skilled, abilitied by Adamas. He never, ever, ever stopped trying to win that fight. He never, ever, ever stopped trying to take chances to land something big. He took more of a beating than I think he had to, because he could have just said, "Okay, we'll just mail this one in." But he said, "No, no, no, no. I'm
Oh, but
trying
yeah,
to get the W."
you're full of shit though,
Why?
because there was another guy
Okay.
who very recently went for it and didn't stop trying to win, and you lambasted him.
That's not true.
Which guy, Matt? Name.
One time, Keith Thurman.
No, no, no. I didn't
Oh,
lambast.
oh,
First
get
of
this
all,
guy
I'm
out
not
of
even
here!
100% sure what
Get,
lambast
get
means.
this guy out of here!
Okay, okay.
Get
So
this
I can't
guy
even
out of
spell.
here!
If I tried to spell lambast, I would spell Landbass, like landbass, like a fish. But like I tell you this right now, I
You
don't know
wouldn't
what
use
that
two
means.
L's like Rama?
Yeah, let's tell you right now, I don't know what that means. But no, 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 I didn't do that. What I actually gave him credit, because I said he never stopped trying to win. I actually, if you heard me correctly, when people kept saying, "Oh, you got to move to this side, you got to move to his left side," I said that's not what he was trying to do, because that would stop the offense from coming at you. That would delay it a little bit. What Thurman was trying to do was move to the other side to set up the right hand. He never stopped trying to win the fight. He just took a beating in it.
I stand corrected. I apologize.
Yes, 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 yes.
To circle back to the Shakur Stevenson comments and what David said about him, I think he's right. I do think he's right, because if you think you can beat someone, Matt, this goes back to what you were saying. If you feel like you're the best fighter, or maybe Ezra, you guys were having the conversation earlier about feeling you're the best fighter, it shouldn't matter. If you're better than Ryan, you're better at Ryan at 140 with a weight clause, rehydration clause. You're better than him at 147. Like, if you're better than him, you're better than him. Beat him
I
where
don't
he
think
fights
these
at.
guys really
Don't
believe
make it
that.
Okay, this is a great question. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Maybe I think about it more. Is there a matchup that goes different if the weight class is? I'm trying to think of something in boxing. I'm sure there's something where it's like in this weight class it was this way, but in this weight class it was different.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I can't think of a single one, because even if I like thinking about like even ones that have different outcomes, Marquez and Pacquiao. Marquez got the better of Pacquiao in all four of those fights, I think, regardless of what weight class they happened at. He just happened to knock him out in the last one. The judges didn't favor him in the first three.
Yeah, I would also think that one don't work either, because Marquez was kind of chasing Pacquiao, so he would just move up the weight classes to get him, and they were even. Basically, you're right. The fights were even pretty much every time,
Yeah.
and one of the shots just mattered this time, right? But
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a matchup where it's like they
I
fought
don't
this
think
weight
there
class.
is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a fight where they fought at this weight class, and then they moved up, and it was just a completely different fight. I'm trying to. It's not coming to my head right away. That's for sure.
Now,
Hey, just a quick little bit of news. We got to 1K.
it's a long time coming.
I will say this. I thought 1K would do the thing where it would make us monetary, make us be able to cash in on this. We still have to get a few more hour of viewership on our videos, but
Okay.
we're close. We're close. We're very, very close.
Get that other interview up later today. We'll be posting the second part of the Junto Nakatani brunch boxing exclusive this afternoon.
All right, what were we gonna say, Matt?
Another thing Benavidez talked about, which I think is a pretty nice little thing for us to end this interview on. He named his top 3 Mexican fighters of all time.
Okay.
And his top 3, in no order: Julio Cesar Chavez, obviously senior.
In case someone was confused.
Oscar De La Hoya,
Mm-hmm.
and Marco Antonio Barrera.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Listen, okay. Can I get my 3?
Yeah, give you a 3.
Okay. He got the first one right. El Campeon.
Campeon.
Okay, come on, man. Let's go Chavez. Number 2, Salvador Sanchez. And number 3, De La Hoya. Now, the next thing I'm looking at from right there is going to be Morales Barrera. But that's about where I'm at right there with my list.
My list is interesting because I did a top 10 Mexicans of all time. And do you remember who was number one and number two?
Chavez and Salvador, right?
No.
What was
Barrera was number two.
Oh, Barrera. Okay.
Barrera was number two. And I
Man,
did my Mexican Americans list, and De La Hoya was number one.
yeah, that's for sure.
That's the top three right there.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Benavidez is exactly right.
Where do
Now,
you have
some
Salvador
people,
Sanchez?
let me pull up my graphic that you so kindly made for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Salvador Sanchez was number three.
But I think your reasoning for that was just like comparison, like career length wise, the body of work didn't have it, and then it's unfortunate, but it just wasn't there.
My comparison was the Teddy Atlas against who? Against who?
All right, Huey, what's your list?
Very similar. I think after I'm thinking about this, I agree with your list. I did have Benito Lopez in my top five before. Or my top three before, but I think I would switch them out if we're including Mexican Americans with Oscar De La Hoya. If I were making a top five, I would add Barrera and Benito Lopez to the three.
Okay. Yeah, so for those who weren't here for my Mexican list, my top 10 greatest Mexicans of all time. Number 10 was Juan Manuel Marquez. Number 9 was Carlos Zarate. Number 8 was Ruben Olivares. Number 7 was Canelo Alvarez. Number 6 was Juan Francisco Estrada. Number 5 was Ricardo Finito Lopez. Number 4 was Eric Morales. Number 3 was Salvador Sanchez. Number 2 was Marco Antonio Barrera. And number 1 was Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. Now, here's the thing. This was, 2 years ago I did this list?
I think so.
When did Canelo fight Munguia?
So about 2 or 3 years ago.
That was the end of 24, I think.
Okay, so 2024. Canelo has dropped on this list.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. Yeah.
And Gallo, Mr. Quit on my stool against the kickboxer.
No.
He has dropped on this list also.
You can't do that. You can't do that to him.
I would now put Canelo at number 10 and Gallo at number 9, or Gallo at number 10 and Canelo at number 9.
My bad.
I would move up Olivares, Zarate, and Marquez.
Yeah, so I do think, like, for me, Salvador Sanchez is my number one. I think he's the best fighter from Mexico that I've ever seen. I understand the body of work isn't there, but I think, like, when I watched him in the ring, I think he was the best. I thought he was better than Chavez. I thought he was better than Barrera. I thought he was better than all of them. Chavez is going to be my next one. And then for me, like I said, I initially was thinking Benito Lopez. I like the body of work from De La Hoya, but man, those two are really difficult for me on that third one. It's going to be one of those two. I'd have to go back and really like sit and break down the resumes and look at them in detail to make a decision. But when we were talking about this pre-show, my list was Sanchez, Chavez, Benito.
Now, I also made a Mexican American list. Okay. And my Mexican American list, number 10 was Little Red Danny Lopez. Number 9 was Gennaro Hernandez. Number 8 was Orlando Canizales. Number 7 was Mi Vida Loca Johnny Tapia. Number 6 was Michael Carbajal. Number 5 was Bobby Chacon. Number 4, Mikey Garcia. Number 3 was Manuel Ortiz. Number 2 was my guy, my favorite fighter of all time, Diego Chico Corrales. And number 1 was Oscar De La Hoya. I got to tell you, talk to me May 3rd about this list again. Because if David Benavidez, if David Benavidez defeats Zerdo Ramirez, he is going to crash this list like the Kool-Aid man through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if he goes to heavyweight and does some work, I mean, come on, it's
bye De La Hoya. If he goes to heavyweight, bye De La Hoya.
He's going up, man. He's going up.
Yeah. So for me, I think David Benavidez has a chance to put himself in the top 5 with a victory over Zerto.
So, going with a question from J.R. Bell here. So is Marquez at number 9 then now? Did you
No.
move?
Oh
Where
my
you said
God.
you moved Canelo to number 10, right?
If I move Canelo to 10 and my man Gallo to 9, that would make Marquez
Oh,
8.
Marquez 8. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I missed where you said you put Gallo. My bad.
Yeah. To
Okay,
me,
so
Gallo and Canelo, they both go tumbling down on
okay,
this
so they
list.
went down. You moved Marquez up to 8. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You drop Guile for being old and
I
going
don't
weight
agree with
classes.
dropping
I
Gallo
don't
personally.
care about. All
I
his
agree
work
with
was
dropping
done. It was
Canelo.
solidified.
I agree with dropping Canelo because he had a series of unflattering performances against unserious competition. Well, not unserious competition, just competition that he probably should have done better than with if he was really at the level that you were rating him.
I'll tell you this right now. What we're watching right now, we're watching two guys that are going to finish, to me, in that top 5 of Mexican American list with Bam Rodriguez and Benavidez. I think you're watching two guys that are going to finish in that top 5.
Bam still has got to do some work, but I
I
agree with
think
you.
you're watching one guy that's gonna be in that top 5, and you're watching one guy who is writing checks with his mouth, and his trainer is writing checks with his mouth that he's not actually willing to cash.
Listen, I'm listen. You know where I sit with Bam on this. I think it's a bad look. I think it's a bad look. I think they talked way too much. They let that fight get brought up too much.
No one
The
knows what we're talking about, Ezra.
Bam versus Inouye. Bam versus
Okay.
Inouye, right? The Bam's team allowed that fight to just get built up too much. They talked like if it was going to happen. They were talking like they were looking to make that soon. All these things, and I did now. I think we're pretty much confirmed they have no intentions of making that fight. They have no intentions
None.
of booking that fight, and I think that's a
None.
bad look. And I do think that you have to be really careful with stuff like this because I don't think anyone would really hold this against Bam. I think the Junto one, yes, but I don't think the Inoue one, I don't think anyone was gonna hold that against him. I think they would just been like, hey, they're just in the
I
wrong weight
will,
classes. It did,
because
it
you were
wasn't gonna
talking
happen.
about it.
But
You
when
were
you keep
talking
bringing,
about it.
yeah, but when you keep bringing it up, when you keep kind of hinting that you're willing to take that fight, and you keep hinting that you're willing to step in there, and it just turns out it's just all talk, it's gonna be held against his career now. I'm sorry, it's not as bad as a loss, but man, it ain't a great look. I'll tell you that right
Bro,
now.
you can't respect it.
I'm gonna
You
have to
can't
clip that
respect it.
because
Like,
I'm pretty sure a few weeks ago Ezra was saying that he was sure Bam was gonna fight anyway.
I just, you know what it is? I tell you right now, I respect a man at his word until he lets me know otherwise. I'll tell you that right now. I respect a man at his word until he lets me know otherwise.
and, and,
And
and it really pisses me off because I drafted Bam.
yeah, yeah, that's the one. The plus from what everything that happened, I would say, is your
Fuck
draft
off.
got a little
Come
less
on.
effective.
Well, he's gonna do work this year, but it just won't be.
But it has a stain on it now. The
Yeah,
work this year has a stain on it. I'm
it
sorry.
does. It does. It does. 100%. 100%. All right. Yeah. So listen, if you guys haven't checked out the interview that Benavidez did with Cam, make sure you guys check it out. It was a great, great interview. And watch the segment before the interview
Yes.
where Cameron gets beat up by Jay Uso.
Can I tell you right now, Cam and Mace are making pretty much every correct move right now. I mean, they are. They're the one thing I was like talking about, like with boxing, is you could see like in podcasts stuff like that, they're talking boxing way more than they're talking MMA or anything in MMA. Like it just doesn't have it right. And Cam and Mace are right there with wrestling, with boxing, and they're just kind of doing everything to meet the correct way and doing everything where it's like at the right time. Like you have the right fighter, you have the right that wrestling moment, right time for WrestleMania. All these things, it's just like to me, I don't know. I think they're running really, really good stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's get to last night, MVP W Part 2, headlined by Alicia Bumgarner versus Bo Ray Shin or Bo Remation. I don't know which one goes first, but um, in the co-feature, Shadeja Green was stopped by Lonnie Daniels. Lonnie Daniels went down in weight and snatched the super middleweight unified crown from Shadeja Green. What were your thoughts on that bout?
She took a beating. Like it was a beating. Like there was um Lonnie Daniels was on her the whole time, just on her, working and working. And Green just looked super uncomfortable, and just took a beating from middle to the post. And it ended ugly too, with her getting out on the stretcher, just very, very worrisome. But man, I tell you right now, Shaneja Green, to me, after her performance against Marshall, I thought she's got a lot of momentum and everything, and then it just took it all away. It just disappeared. It just disappeared. I mean, that was not a close fight, and that was a beating.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely was a beating. Um, it's very interesting because, and I know this is going to be the angle a lot of people take, which I've been telling you guys for years. A lot of people talk about Clarissa Shields' resume, who she beat, oh, this girl's not good, and then they go on to do great things. And
Yes, yes,
now we have, once again, someone who Clarissa Shields beat go on to become a champion again. You
yes.
know, and I've been telling you guys this for years. eh, there, it's not a matter of the competition sucks. It's a matter of she makes the competition look bad because she's so great. And I compare it to Terrence Crawford at 140. Was 140 that bad, or was Terrence Crawford that above and beyond people that he made it look not interesting?
I think that's a fair question. I do think that, oddly, in a weird way, I think the only thing that Shields could kind of do to kind of prove her level, and this is kind of, maybe people think this is stupid, she's got to fight one of the lower weight fighters. I think that that's the only knock what people have. There's like, hey, the competition isn't great up there, and sometimes I think that in women's fight, I don't think that the power is. It's not like the men's, right? It's definitely not like the men's where the power is that much of a game changer. I want to see her fight one of the lower weight stars that they have. Go up and wait and fight her, because I just want to see what that skill to skill looks like.
They're not going to fight her.
Maybe not, but I'm just saying though. I think that's like really the only thing left to prove. I just want to see it. I think that's the fight that would be most interest me now. So it's no one at these upper weight classes. There's no one in there that's like catching my eye, right? Right now, I mean, there's a I keep for Tam Tebow, Tam Tebow. I think she's going to be a star, and I think she's in those weight classes. I just don't know how fast they're going to move her to where that makes sense. That matchup makes sense. But if you could get like Michaela Mayer in there, I would be interested in that with Shields.
I think Michaela Mayer signing with MVP kind of killed any hope of a Clarissa Shields fight.
Okay.
And I think they did that on purpose. But
Okay.
whatever. I think they did it on purpose. Um, I just think, yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening, Captain. Um, but Clarissa Shields, interestingly enough, she said that she's going down to 130. Not 130, 160.
Okay.
So she's going down to 160. So could one of these girls who keep calling her name, could they possibly move up to 160? Could we see Lauren Price move up to 160 to go challenge Clarissa Shields? That's another fight that a lot of people were talking about.
Yeah,
You know,
I think those would be really interesting right now. I think that's we're running out of really interesting things for Cruiser Shields. I think that's one of it. I'm behind it.
yeah, yeah, 100%. But thoughts and prayers are with Shadeja Green. I think what happened to her last night was she took an A-side beating. If that was Lonnie Daniels getting beat up like that,
They would have stopped it.
they would have stopped it a lot earlier.
Mm.
But because Shadeja was the A-side,
You got to give her a
they
chance.
wanted to give her every opportunity because they knew what was supposed to happen. So they wanted to give her every opportunity. And that's an unfortunate part about boxing and the refereeing in boxing. Nobody talks about it enough, but that's really what happened. Yeah. But I mean, salute to Shadeja Green. Thoughts and prayers are with her. Hope she's doing well. Send my regards. Now, do you want to talk about the main event?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you talk about it because I don't give a shit.
I mean, listen, what we saw with Bumgarner is a similar thing that we've seen in a lot of fights. Is there's a gas tank issue, right? Especially in the second half, we saw a gas tank issue, and we saw someone that didn't have the skill and ability, but had the will and the want to push that fight. And there was at times where I did feel like Alicia Bumgarner was kind of uncomfortable in that fight because of the gas tank. But what I saw though was pretty good boxing. And when the gas tank did go, her technique kind of stepped up, and she was able to move her legs, kind of delay the offense from coming to her. And then in the last round, they send the fans home happy, in my opinion, where they won the war. I mean, they exchanged the big shots. I thought it was a success, and I thought it showed kind of everything that Bumgarner has issues with, but everything she's very, very good at as well. Was it like, oh, she's the top of the weight class, there's no one to touch close to her? No, it wasn't that. But it was like, hey, will I watch her again? Would I definitely be interested in her after that performance? I do think it was that.
Does this performance do anything in terms of moving her up a pound for pound here? Or
No, 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 no.
so basically, it was a whole hum performance.
It wasn't like I said. Like as far as like ability, it was just kind of what it's been for her. That's what I think. I just think that as far as like if you're watching this, you just turned on ESPN, you saw a fight, and you watched it. I think you were very entertained, and now you know who Lisa Baumgartner is, and if you pass by her again, you'll watch it again. And if they get another name in there with her, like Dubois, which everybody wants to see. I think that people will be really excited for it, and I think that
Now everybody wants to see her versus Dubois, but it seems like she doesn't want to
she
see
does
her
not
versus
want to
Dubois.
fight Dubois.
So
She's making that perfectly clear that she does not want to
what
fight
are your
Dubois.
thoughts on that?
I think she's afraid. I mean, I don't think that's a good look. I mean, she is like blatantly like not trying to fight Dubois. It's the weirdest thing. And funny thing is, you always say like, "Oh, boxers aren't afraid of anybody." I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second. And the way the Bumgarner's talking, it sounds like she's damn right scared. I mean, I'm be honest with you, that is the strangest thing. But I think that fight has to happen, and I don't know what other choice she has. You know what I mean? Like, where else is she gonna go? They're paying her. I think they're gonna make that fight happen.
You think she's afraid? Wow,
I do.
that that's a high charge in boxing, Ezra.
I don't. I think people are afraid of people all the time. I don't buy that whole thing where like, oh, boxers aren't afraid of everybody. Oh, that's not true. Shoot, go to any sparring day when you don't know who you're going to spar. Look at those guys looking around. Everyone's a little afraid of someone. They don't know what the other person has or whatever. They don't know what they're capable of. No, that's not true. Boxers don't feel some different kind of courage than any other person.
Now, let me ask you this: if not Caroline Dubois, what would be acceptable for Alicia Baumgartner?
Tell me, well, give me the names that are close, similar in the weight classes. Like, give me the big names.
I mean, obviously, if she could get a Serrano or Taylor fight, we would forgive her not fighting
Of
Dubois.
course. Yeah, of course.
Okay, what about Alif Nurtahan?
You tell me. I'm not familiar with it.
She had the Women's Knockout of the Year for Brunch
Oh,
Boxing.
okay. That's the one you keep hyping up.
Whoa, don't say stuff like that. I'm not hyping up anybody. I'm just showing you guys who's out there.
You always talk about that thing. I don't. Hyping up doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. I'm just saying that's the one you always talk about. Yeah, I guess I'll be fine with that. I want to see her in with someone that I think is a credible threat and is at a similar to the skill level. That's the only thing is I'm kind of seeing just like her being out matching her up and just people she's better skilled than. I want to see someone that's like, hey, this is an equal level fight. There's no reason for those not to be happening. Seems like they pretty much own the women's division boxing, so they should be able to match her up with some really good fights. If these things are going to just run how every other promotion is running, I don't understand what's the point of me tuning in.
Now, interestingly enough, one of Alicia Baumgartner's former rivals, Christina Leonardo, returns to the boxing ring today in Atlantic City with zero fanfare. You probably didn't know about it. What are your thoughts on the whole situation with Baumgartner and Leonardo? Obviously, for those who don't know, Leonardo beat Alicia Baumgartner early on in her career. Alicia Baumgartner rematched her in 2023, I want to say, and she tested positive for three different steroids during the rematch and was able to come away with the victory. The fight was never overturned. Baumgartner was suspended indefinitely. Then the suspension was conspicuously lifted. The Michigan Unarmed Combat Commission, they did not release any findings. The WBC cleared her, saying, hey, no proof was intentional. So everyone recognizes that she had drugs in the system, but then it comes, oh, well, whether or not it's intentional, which me personally, I don't give a shit. If it's in your system, it's in your system, especially steroids, you know. But Leonardo, too, her cries for justice has fallen on deaf ears and everyone has moved on. What's your thoughts on that whole situation?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The problem is that she doesn't have any star power. Like you said, she's having a fight today, and no one knows of it. So she don't have no leverage to make anything happen. Now, should things been maybe enforced or whatever? Of course, but it's unfortunately, um, things like this where people don't have a lot of not paying, no one's paying a lot of attention to it. It kind of just gets brushed under the rug. She doesn't have the leverage to do it. Nothing's gonna come of it. I don't believe they're gonna make this matchup or make a third fight. I just don't think anything's coming of it because she doesn't have any leverage to make it happen.
Yeah, it kind of shows the complete failure that is, and you've been saying this for years, the boxing drug testing protocol. This is a as right kind of situation because this woman had a girl beat her that was on that shit, and nothing becomes of it. Wha- The girl career go down, while Alicia Bumgarner career
Mm-hmm.
has never been higher. What um, procedural changes would you recommend we make in situations like this?
Well, I agree with you. It's like it shouldn't matter how it gets in your system. I agree with you on that. I think that if no matter it's in your system, what does it matter, right? You should have been more careful. So if it got in your system, that's it, and they'll remove the win, and the person that suffered that loss, right, should obviously it should be removed in their career should move on. But the problem is with it is procedural changes is fine, right? That we do those things, suspend the right people, and do all those things. The problem is with a person like that is that they're not. No one's going to go and push that person's career because they don't make any money. So that's the thing. There's really no making the right on that end. It's just like, can we just punish Alicia Baumgartner more and do that end? But as far as her career, no, there's nothing that no one's going to do because it doesn't make any money. So no one's going to go out of their way to do anything.
Let me ask you a stupid question.
All
Is
right.
it possible that maybe if you get caught with drugs,
Okay.
we consider that a loss on your record and we award the victory to the person that you cheated against? And if you have a belt, the belt goes to them. Would
Yeah,
that change things?
I would love that. I would love that. That is what should happen. That is what should happen. And then that gives. But the problem is, okay, that would work too, especially in a title fight, right? Where you have the belt, and the belt would be your leverage. But let's say there was no belt on the line, and that just happened. Giving her that win though wouldn't, to me, boost her in
It
that
would.
way.
It would. Because
Think
the win
so?
over Alicia Bogardner.
Yeah, but people, yeah, I know. But I think within the nature of it, I don't think people would be like, oh wow, I need to see her fight. I don't think that would be play out that way. But I'm good with that. I'm good with that. If you don't make this punishment like really painful, people will keep testing it. I'm a believer in that. Like if you don't make this like, hey, there's no way out of this. You screw up and you test positive, no matter what, whatever, it's gonna screw up your whole career. I think people won't push the limit as much as they do. But because people know that this stuff could happen, it could get brushed under the rug, then people push the limit.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, you know, you're absolutely right. And you were right from the beginning. You were right from the beginning. So what can we say?
I tell you, it
As
just
right.
takes time. It takes time. I'm always right, but it might take a few years for people to realize it.
Yeah, definitely a few years. All right.
A couple questions from the fans. Sibby's asking Ezra, how sure are you that Alicia loses to Dubois? What type of fight is that to you?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure on that. Honestly think that's a 50-50 fight. I'm not sure that she loses that fight, but I'm just saying that the way she's acting and showing me she's portraying she's scared of that fight. She wants something to do with it. Like someone said, "Oh, that's a big fight." She goes, "I don't think that's that big of a fight." Like, wait, what? She's openly trying to diminish the market value of the fight? That's very strange to me. That's a very strange response. Oh, this is this big fight that everybody's talking about. I don't think it's that big. Okay, I don't think that fight sells. I don't think that fight makes money. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's bigger than the fight she had last night.
Yeah, it's like, this is stupid. What a stupid idea. What a stupid opinion. What a stupid thing to say. When you know that question is going to be asked, too.
No, you're definitely right about that. Let's try to make the people some money. I don't know if we have any Ezra. Do you have any Ezra breakdowns for any fights today?
No, but I will bet Ben Whitaker to get the stoppage today.
Ben Whitaker to get the stoppage.
Got you.
And since we got it, because I know that's not going to be enough, I got to
minus 525.
Exactly. Let's take what's the Laker? What is there?
Did the Lakers play today?
Tomorrow, right?
Dog, I don't know. I got a boxing odds website. I don't have all the.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Matt. You on the betting app?
Yeah, the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers play today.
They play tomorrow.
Yeah, let's make them some money today.
Oh, today. Well, give me the games today. I'll tell you what's gonna happen.
No, Lakers.
Oh, Lakers.
Today at 7:30.
Oh, okay. So what's their?
All right. So Raptors versus Cavaliers at 1:10 p.m., which is like 30 minutes from now, right where the show ends.
Okay.
We got the Timberwolves versus Nuggets at 3:40 Eastern time. We got the Hawks versus the Knicks at 6:10 Eastern time. And then we have the Lakers and Rockets at 8:40 Eastern time.
Okay, I'll take the Cavs money line.
Okay.
Oh, what's Lakers spread?
Lakers spread is 5.5 minus 102. Lakers are plus 170 on the money line.
I'll take the points for the Lakers. I'm not going to take that win. I'll take the points. So I'll take the Lakers the points. I'll take the Cavs to win. I'll take the who was the Raptors versus who?
Cavaliers. You took the Cavaliers.
Oh, I mean Cavs. What was the next game you said?
Nuggets, T-Wolves.
I'll take the Nuggets.
Really?
Yeah, I'll take the Nuggets to win
That's
the game.
Stay away from me.
Game one. It's a game one.
That's a stay away from me.
A good round one matchup.
It is.
That's definitely a stay away from me, man.
Matt, who do you have winning the whole title?
Knicks.
No, come on.
No.
He's a serious person.
I do have the Knicks going to the finals.
Oh, and losing to who?
I think OKC repeats.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with this.
Yeah, I think OKC repeats.
I got to tell you, I don't want to get off of what we're doing here, right? We talk boxing, whatever. I got to tell you, I don't think the NBA's in a great spot. And I don't think OKC is the most exciting team you want to be the face of your league.
You know what? Let's move on. Because you know who was not in a great spot right now? Daniel Kinahan, because he is in jail.
He is not.
Boxing power broker, former advisor to Tyson Fury, the MTK head, Pro Bellum, all this guy who was the man. Daniel Kinahan arrested. Ezra, give me your thoughts.
I mean, it's a long time coming. It's funny to me, like boxing. I always say like boxing is involved in everything for some weird reason. Like they were talking. It was a Dave Chappelle was talking about like he went and did his comedy show in Saudi, and he was talking about like, well, I've seen them cover boxing events. Like boxing's always involved in every storyline. Kinahan, who's like a cartel leader, had his hands in boxing in like a major way. Like it was a big thing. It was a long time coming. And then suddenly his name disappeared, and you kind of wondering like, where did that go? Where did that end up? where'd that end up? And now it came around. But it's just funny that whenever the money comes in, you're just funny that the people that would just make excuses for it, right? Money would just allow people to make excuses for whatever, and literally whatever you're up to. Whatever you're up to, if you have some money and you're putting it in someone's pocket, they will say, he's not that bad. He's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good for the sport. And there were a lot of people saying that Daniel Kennedy was pretty good for the sport. He was great for the sport. And I just think I think that's funny. I think it just shows you how what people's, they could be swayed. They could definitely be swayed.
Really, really shows you lack of moral character from a lot of these guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Really,
I
really
agree.
shows you that.
Well, the would you say was Kinahan's impact in boxing as big as they made it seem?
Yes, of
Okay.
course, of course. Because here's the thing: you had people that was afraid to speak up for fear of reprisal. Because let's not forget, this guy is a murderous drug lord.
Yeah.
don't don't ever get that fucked up. He
Yeah.
is a murderous drug lord.
Yeah. And like not even like disputed. Like this is pretty well known. This is known.
Yeah, and to top it off, bro, he was the intended target of an assassination at a boxing weigh-in,
Yeah.
and then the event got canceled, and the guy who was supposed to be in the main event never fought again. So of course he's had a huge impact. Now, one thing he didn't impact, I can't count on one hand how many times Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua got announced.
Yeah.
remember, thank my guy Daniel Kinahan, we got it done. Fury versus Joshua, and that never happened. But other than that, I mean, I would say he had a huge impact on the sport of boxing, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. And my guy, Alan Dawson, my colleague over at Boxing Social, he said something very interesting. He said that back when he was reporting on Daniel Kinahan, a police officer was quoted as saying, "Hey, anybody doing business dealings with this guy in boxing, you are part of this case, and you are an
Wow.
accessory
Oh wow.
in almost like a RICO kind of way."
Yeah. That makes sense.
So I am wondering if we could see a fallout where some people in boxing end up getting caught up in this situation.
Oh wow. 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 Well, it's just like I don't know. It's just insane. But like I said, boxing's never been like, oh, this is this is the cleanest sport or whatever. But that was an insane period where just like not just people like people involved in boxing, promoters, writers, everyone just kind of being like open arms, welcoming them in. It's pretty insane. It's I don't know, man. I
They
don't
were
know.
all shaking ass for Daniel Kinahan.
Yeah, it's crazy. That is insane.
Yeah, and now, hey, let's see what happens. I didn't see a lot of tough reporting on this. You know, we get to hear about what every boxer is up to anytime they have a DUI or
Hmm.
some type of violence case. We hear all about it. I didn't hear a lot about Daniel Kinahan. I will say that.
Did
Maybe
he
they're still
ever get
scared.
that nomination for manager of the year?
No, they
Oh,
shot that down.
okay. Okay.
That
Just
was Mike
curious.
Coppinger
I'm
trying
just
to,
curious. I'm
yeah,
just
put him
curious.
forward for manager of the year.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
And I want to say you're real messy for bringing that up.
I'm
Yeah, I was
just
just gonna say you're an
curious.
asshole, as you're an
I'm
asshole.
just curious. Did he ever get that nomination? For manager of the year, a lot of people suddenly didn't work with him, suddenly didn't know who he was, or just couldn't talk about it. For being a hell of a manager, people couldn't suddenly who was doing this work.
Oh shit! All right, I'm gonna do something a little bit different for quick hits. Before we get out of here, I want to go down some of the fights that's been announced officially. Let's start with what I think is one of the best fights on the entire schedule. May 30th, Fertitta Arena, Houston, Texas. Shanique Foster, aka O'Shaquie Foster, will defend his WBC Super Featherweight Championship against the Savage, Raymond Ford. Ezra, what are your thoughts on that fight getting over the finish line? And give me your first inclinations on who you think wins.
Fantastic fight, real heat. I love these kind of fights. Like this, to me, like in the spirit of things, is like 50-50. As far as like, these are two guys with no excuses, right? In the spirit of things, this is 50-50. Now, is this an Ezra top fight 50-50? No, it is not. But as I said, in the spirit of it, it's a 50-50 fight. There's no really excuses. We're going to see two guys, and these are kind of matches that would usually frustrate me. They would be like, oh, this guy's fighting this guy, and this guy's fighting this guy, and they're not fighting each other. And it's like, why? Why are they not fighting each other? We're getting it. I'm leaning Oshaki Foster. I really love that Fulton performance, man. I thought he really did steal the show that night, and he looked like the best fighter in the ring that night. I'm going to take him. I think that Raymond Ford is a fighter with good ability. I do think Raymond Ford has talent, but I've seen him come up short in matchups. I've seen him not, not be able to control fights. I think that Oshaki Foster controls fights. I think he'll control this fight. I expect him to win that fight.
All right. Another fight that was announced. The return of Galal Yafai. Speaking of guys who had their careers affected by drug cheats, he will be challenging Ricardo Sandoval for the unified flyweight title, and it's going to be the co-feature of Dalton Smith versus Alberto Puello. What's your initial thoughts on Galal Yafai versus Ricardo Sandoval?
No, I don't remember 100%. Did Yafai have a fight after his loss?
This is his first fight.
Okay, I don't know where he's at then, because he took some damage in that fight, right? He took some damage in that fight. I think if that fight didn't happen, I would favor Yafai in this fight. But I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at. I do actually think this is a 50-50 fight. This would be an Ezra type 50-50 fight. I'm going to lean Yafai in that fight, but I think it's a very, very good matchup.
You have the main and the co-main. What's your early grade for this card?
I give this an A. I love those two fights.
Yeah, A+. A+ for me. This is really shaping up to be the best year in boxing since 2023.
Yeah. The schedule's packed. They keep them coming. It's a lot of good stuff right now.
All right, another fight that was announced. Your guy, Jesse Bam Rodriguez Franco, he will move up in weight to challenge Antonio Vargas for the WBA Bantamweight Championship June 13th in what Matchroom calls the Greater Phoenix area. I guess they don't have an arena yet. What are your thoughts on that?
Listen, Bam's gonna reach a point here where he's so good that even fighting top guys or champs in a division will still be like looked at a little bit like I want to see something else. I want to see more. It's a fight that he should be favored in a pretty wide margin. It's a fight that he's gonna look look like Bam in, but there's gonna be the need of creativity on his matchups. Like I said, this inner weight thing is gonna leave a stain, especially on this year, right? For what he does, but we got to see. It's I mean, like I said, he's fighting a champion. It's an okay match.
It is going to be at the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale. It's just easier to say Greater Phoenix area than explain to someone what Glendale is.
So it's not going to be in Phoenix.
It's like literally right outside of it. It's like it's basically Phoenix. It's like a suburb.
Why can't they just say Glendale?
Nobody would know. It's because nobody would know what Glendale is, man.
They do, because they do the fucking college
Cardinals
football there. They know the Super Bowl at Glendale.
Yeah.
Like come on. Do they think that if they say Glendale instead of Phoenix, less people are gonna buy tickets?
So
maybe.
I don't live in the
Matt. Who's the promoter?
That's Eddie Hearn, of course.
Yeah,
Does he know how to promote in the U.S.?
I don't live in the city of LA, but I do live in the greater LA area.
And you say you're from LA, right?
LA County, the greatest county in the world.
There you go, Matt. It's a West Coast then.
Yeah, yeah. Before we get out of here, I wanted to get some comments from the listeners. Trilosophy says Michaela Mayer hasn't backed down from anyone. I think she wants to fight with Shields. I guess she disagrees with me. What are your thoughts? You think Michaela Mayer wants that fight? And if so, why she sign with MVP?
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, well, I think it's kind of MVP because that's where all the money is for most of the women's fights, right? Like if you would say the momentum of like where's the women's momentum at? Where are they doing the biggest things for women? I mean, MVP's got an ESPN deal. I mean, that would make a lot of sense, right? I'm not sure she wants the Christopher. I don't know that for sure. I mean, I don't know that. I can't say that. So I don't know if she wants that fight. She's been in there tough. She is one of the women that's been in there tough. But I'm not. I can't guarantee that she wants that fight. No.
All right. And then we have a comment from my guy Blunson Boxing. He says, Matt, your love affair with Benavidez is beyond hilarious. No way in the world does Benavidez surpass De La Hoya. Hey, Blunson Boxing, fuck you.
Hold on. With beating Zerto, no, but he has the opportunity to do this. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's tough. What do you mean?
If he thinks you were talking about with a win over Zerto, absolutely not. He's right. But for his career, David can pass the Oscar as the greatest Mexican American fighter.
Okay, wait, we just question. Okay, he beat Zerto. Okay, let's just say this, right? Because these are actually possibilities. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the possibilities. If he beats Zerto and Jai Opatai, right, in that weight class, okay, and then goes to heavyweight and just wins a bout, each time he does surpass De La Hoya?
Needs to win a title, but yeah.
Imagine he goes Zerto Usyk back to back.
Come on, like what are we talking about?
Oh, that if he goes Zerto Usyk back to back, that's done.
I think that if this happens, anything, right? You grew up with like this is the guy for us, and then you think that it's insurmountable to ever reach that, and it isn't. Like that's what I'm saying. So like I don't know. Of course he could. Okay, of course he could.
Yeah, exactly. We got a comment from Big Boss that you could put up on the screen. I was just checking my Twitter DMs. Big Boss says, hold on, I'm trying to look what he said. Having trouble reading. Matt, y'all skipped over David going to bridgerweight before heavyweight.
Come
on, man.
There's no big fight at bridgerweight, unfortunately.
Bro, there's no way. Was that a genuine comment? Was I gotta get a joke off? Because it worked either way.
If there was a name at bridgerweight for him to fight, you're damn better be sure David would be fighting him.
Oh, that is hilarious.
All right. If Deontay Wilder was the bridgerweight champ, we would be getting that fight after this.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt, what's your thoughts on WrestleMania before we get out of here?
I'm not gonna lie to the people. I was about to say I wasn't gonna watch, but I'm gonna watch.
You damn liar.
I'm gonna watch. I don't have any thoughts on it. I'm just looking forward to seeing Roman Reigns versus CM Punk tomorrow. I'm also looking forward to seeing Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. I think that's gonna be excellent. Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. Yeah, I'm going in with no expectations because I've been very disappointed with the TKO era of WWE.
Yes.
I think that the product has been very poor, and I dread to think what they're gonna do to boxing if they could run boxing the way they want to run it. So I'm just gonna go in with no expectations and hope that it's a really, really good and memorable show.
I'm gonna say this: the buildup has been terrible. Besides, to me, Brock and Obafemi, I think that's been done so damn good. I actually think that's been done great.
That's just been Obafemi beating the shit out of Brock too. It's been great,
and it's just fantastic, right? And every time they come out, you're like, oh, dude, these guys gonna throw down like this is great stuff. So we're gonna get a whole match of that. The buildup has been terrible, but they do have matches in place. If they just say, okay, look, our buildup hasn't been good. There's not really payoffs in here that could be that great as far as like, oh, this is some stunning thing. They really don't need that on this thing. It is what it is. but they could have some great matches. Like CM Punk versus Roman Reigns could be a damn great match.
Yeah,
Just let
but
it be.
it's interesting you say that because when I spoke to you, what, just last week or 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
you were all in on the build up for CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
Was I?
Yeah, you said, "Oh, CM Punk cut the greatest
Oh
promo
no
you've
no no
ever
no
heard in your
no.
life."
So that's where once again I misquoted, and it's really disrespectful. All I said was I enjoyed that promo. No, I said it didn't build up the match. It didn't do anything for WrestleMania, but I enjoyed that. Was like must watch TV to me, in my opinion. You put in there, and this guy just was kind of just whether it was planned or whatever, he was bashing the company's work for, bashing everything. The thing I thought that was good stuff. I don't think that built up the match at all. I don't think I think that it needed to do that because nothing was working to build up the match. Like I said, I think that they have matches in place. I think that Randy Orton versus
Cody,
Cody Rhodes could be a damn good match.
could it?
But lose the nonsense. You don't need the nonsense. They're gonna have nonsense. Pat McAfee's gonna be nonsense. They're not gonna do it right. But if they just let guys wrestle this weekend, right? They just let guys wrestle and they just say, hey, we're just gonna put on a good show. This could be one of the surprising WrestleManias that could be like, hey, actually, that was a great night of wrestling. But the problem is TKO can't get out of their own way, and they got to interfere, and they want some kind of cliffhanger. They want some kind of big moment all the time, or they want some celebrity interference in the event, and that is the biggest detrimental flaw they've had to the product. And I understand that sales are good now and viewership, whatever, all these things. Over time, it will decay because people will say, well, this is just nonsense. And unless they're giving me shock, there's no reason to watch. Unless they're giving me something that shocks me or surprises me every time or an entertainment, I'm not going to watch. And that's going to diminish your product over time. So
I
tonight,
will say this though.
go the
Speaking of
other way.
celebrities, I'm looking forward to seeing Asho Speed today.
I am too. Because you know why, though? They did that they showed that one clip of him wrestling, and he looked pretty damn good, right? And I am interested in what they do with him in there. And I do like a guy that takes it serious. Like, I don't listen, Jelly Roll, like I don't mind. He takes it serious and he tries to think and all that. But I'm tired of the
I
celebrities
don't care about Jelly Roll, bro.
Well, listen, I'm tired of the celebrities interfering with the main storylines of the thing. They've always had celebrities in some kind of fun little part of WrestleMania. But the main storyline of it, I think, is being used too much. And they're too desperate to get viewership or attention for things. Tonight, tonight and tomorrow night, I think you just go the other way with it. You just let the good wrestling do its thing. Let the match tell the story, and that's it. And then you just move past this because no storylines should continue after this. But I'm unfortunate that the Randy Orton, Pat McAfee, Jelly Roll, and Cody Rhodes is going to continue after this, and that's stupid. That's such a stupid
Is Jelly
idea.
Roll even a real celebrity?
I don't know. How the hell would I know?
Will Cameron interfere in the Uso match? City's asking.
Yes. Of course he will.
I don't think Cameron wants that problem.
He's doing the pre-show.
I don't think Cameron wants that problem.
All right. And then last thing on WrestleMania, any bold predictions?
CM Punk will keep the belt.
Oh, that would suck. I think we see an appearance from Kevin Owens.
Oh,
okay. That's a good one. Do we see? And I haven't been watching, so maybe they brought it up. Like Braun Breaker.
He's cleared, so he might show up, but I don't know if we'll see. I don't know in what kind of capacity.
The endings, are they clean, or does Triple H leave us with like some kind of stunning surprise for the main event?
I have no confidence in Triple H's booking, so I can't have a comment on that.
Neither.
I don't know what to expect from his booking. I agree with Matt.
I was defending him, and he completely lost me this year. He lost me.
Ezra, do you have a bolder prediction?
I do not.
Okay.
All right. What do we have coming up for the people, Ezra?
I'm gonna drop this week my guaranteed Ezra guarantee, my Junto breakdown. The next week after that, I will drop my Inoue breakdown. The next week after that, or at the end of that week, I will drop Inoue Junto my prediction and breakdown, total breakdown.
Okay, is there going to be anything dropping this afternoon for the people?
We will be dropping the second part of the interview for Junto Nakatani.
All right, you can catch that on the Brunch Boxing YouTube channel. If you're watching here, just subscribe, stay here. If you're not, go to YouTube, subscribe, like the stream, and keep out for the videos and shorts we're going to be posting here to the channel.
Yeah. Oh, and I gotta chop and screw this podcast.
I don't think you know what that means either, but Matt, you can keep rolling.
Yeah, I got some articles that you guys might want to read. Not on the Brunch Boxing website. It's on Boxing Social. Make sure you guys go check out my work on Boxing Social. Give me some clicks over there. Show these people that you support me. So go click over there. I do have some articles coming to the Brunch Boxing website. Um, the making of the Mexican Monster is going to be a comprehensive. I haven't decided if it's going to be a piece or a series of pieces on how David Benavidez ended up to where he's at today. But it's a lot of different things about David Benavidez that I find to be very, very interesting. I know Blunt's Boxing calls it a love affair, but how could you not love David Benavidez if you're a boxing fan? How could you not?
Wait, what'd you
How
call?
could you not?
Did you call him Blunts Boxing?
Yeah,
I think that's a better. I think that's a better name.
how could you not love David Benavidez, man? Well, he should be the epitome of what we're looking for from all our fighters. But I digress there. So I'm going to be doing a series on David Benavidez as we ramp up our coverage of Benavidez versus Zerto because that is an excellent fight, and we want to give it just as much love as Junto Nakatani versus Naoya anyway. So make sure you guys go look out for that. Also, I'm gonna
Cliffhanger.
be because I don't know if I want to say it. You know what? Just subscribe to the Brunch Boxing YouTube. I got some shit coming for y'all.
Oh,
Follow Matt and the Brunch Boxing page on Twitter, and
No, no,
you'll
no,
find
no.
out whatever you're posting for there as
Just
well.
follow the Brunch Boxing YouTube. I got some shit for y'all.
all
All
right.
right. I'm trying to open up more for you guys. Pause.
Whoa.
Uh, I want to do some. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I'm an old man, so I can't figure out the technology. You know
Matt,
those
just let me know.
videos
Talk
where
to me. Let
someone
me
be
know what you need. We can
where
get it.
someone
We
be
can get it
talking in
working.
front of a green screen, and like the green screen, like they have like a fight behind them, breaking it down, and hey, this happened, and this, you know, I'm gonna be doing some more stuff for you guys, but with boxing stories, you
The,
know.
the the weatherman. That's what they'll call you. They'll call you the weatherman. And I
Yeah.
hope that one day you wore the wrong color and it's just your head, and the green screen just swallows everything up, and it's just your head right there. Can we talk about how everyone has pointed out that Junto Nakatani looks so small in that interview?
Yeah, because you are a pause, a very large man. I think Ezra is the biggest Mexican since Eduardo Nahara.
I thought that
What
too
about,
until I saw
what
Zerto.
about Zerto?
Yeah, I thought that too until I saw Zerto, and I was like, he's built like a door. It's unbelievable.
Listen, when I saw the comments from the Japanese fans, I was like, thank God it wasn't me interviewing this
Bro,
guy.
one person just said, is this Photoshop?
Yeah. Send
Shit.
the people home.
Hey man, listen, I appreciate you guys for joining us. Shout out to all of our listeners, our subscribers, our viewers. We have reached 1,000 on YouTube. The long trek is finally complete, but it doesn't stop there. We want to keep going. Shout out to Sibby. Shout out to my guy JB, ZJR Bell. Shout out to Trill. Shout out to Big Boss. Boss.
What's our next
Uh,
5,000, 10,000?
yeah, I want to hit 10,000.
Let's get 10. Fuck it. Let's skip 5. Our next goal is 10.
Yeah.
Tell a friend to go follow Brunch Boxing.
Shout out to my man Mitch. Basquiat, you piece of shit. I'm not giving you no shout out. Shout out to Blunts and Boxing. Uh, Shout out to everyone who supports the platform. You know, like I said, we pop the trunk. We're an indie platform, but we're doing it big. We're doing it big. And I do got some stuff dropping for you guys. I got some interviews coming up. We do have some interviews we did this week actually with Atif Overton and Price Taylor. I had to reschedule my interview with Michael Zarafa because unfortunately he could not figure out Twitter. So I'm gonna have to bring that one to StreamYard
All right.
because he literally could not figure out Twitter.
All
So
right. Keep me posted on when that's going to happen
yeah,
and we'll make it work.
I'm gonna have to bring that one to StreamYard. I also have an interview coming up with boxing legend Junior Witter, who has a book that's out right now. So make sure you guys check that out. Look out for that. Got a lot of stuff coming up. So make sure you guys just check it out. Support. We appreciate it. Different ways you can support us. Just go like, subscribe on YouTube. You can like and follow on X. Go like and follow on Instagram. Go follow and give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. Go subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and some comments on Apple Podcasts, wherever it is you can support. And, as always, you guys can support me directly via the Cash App, baby. $ is that your face. Hey, I did see some Cash Apps today. I saw my man Trill. I saw my man Noel. Hey, listen. I appreciate you guys hitting me off with that little 10 piece. I understand that that's all that I could afford right now, but next time, make that a 20, brother.
Insulting them for
Make
the
that a
amount
20,
they gave you?
brother. Make that a 20,
Ezra, you don't
brother.
know the reference?
Of course, Ezra don't know.
I didn't get the reference. Oh, okay, I didn't get the
Of
reference.
course, Ezra doesn't know the reference. This Dr. Umar, he said, because some lady sent him a $10 gift card,
Okay.
and he said, listen, sister, I know that's probably all you can afford right now, but next time make that a 20.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yo, Dr. Umar might be the funniest dude on earth, man.
That's hilarious.
Between him and Drewski, the two funniest dudes on earth.
I've been thinking of this Junior Whittier book title, that what it should be since you said it, and I'm landing on the pen is wittier than the sword. I think that's what I would go with.
Hey, I gotta say, I'm glad that you're not involved in naming anything. You suck.
That's not a bad name.
You suck at naming things,
Remember
bro.
when we tried giving Price Taylor nicknames?
That was great, and one of them was his actual nickname. So I was right.
No. Your nickname was yesterday's price is not today's price.
Price Taylor. He's always improving.
Bro, it's too many.
Come on, you guys don't understand nicknames.
Bro, a nickname should not be a whole sentence.
I don't know why not.
Bro, you sound like Chris Berman. You sound like Chris Berman.
Oh, the most legendary guy that gets most legendary nicknames. Come on, what are you talking about?
Oh, gosh. You know what? No one circles the wagons like Brunch Boxing. This has been another edition of Brunch Boxing. He is our COO, the Mexican Al Heyman Mike. He is our host, Ezra Boxing. He is our super producer, Huey P. I am Matt. We are Brunch Boxing, and we are out.
Fight news. Not fight news. Brunch Boxing.
Brunch Boxing, man. Y'all. Brunch Boxing, man.